Hey there! Today we'll be diving into how you can use your Recomma results to create and send personalized campaigns. It's a straightforward process that makes your outreach more organized and effective, and I'll walk you through the process step by step. By the end, you'll know exactly how to take what Recomma gives you and turn it into campaigns that you can send with confidence. And this is approximately what the final product would look like. After creating and sending the campaign, the customer is going to receive an email that states their name and the recommended product that they got as a result of taking the quiz. So now if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, before we even start, let me show you how to access Recomma in the first place. So you're going to go to Shopify App Store and you're going to look up quiz. And this is where it is. You're going to click on it, and if it doesn't say open, it's going to say install. I already have it installed, so I'm just going to click open. And this is where it's going to take you. This is where all of your quizzes are. If you don't have a one, you're going to click add new quiz. But I already have a pre-made one, so let's just go ahead and see it. This is where your quiz dashboard is. This is where the questions are, the heading, the subheading. I will not go into much detail because we already have a video exploring how you can build a quiz step by step in an in-depth tutorial. So make sure to watch that as well. Okay, so now we're going to go to integrations and we're going to scroll down, and then we see that Klaviyo is not connected. So that is our first step, to connect Klaviyo to Recomma. To that, we're going to go to integrations on the left bar over here, and then, well, again, we see that it's not connected, but we see that it asks for public and private API keys. Now we're gonna go to Klaviyo. After you log in, you're gonna go to your profile over here, and then you're gonna click settings. And then you see the API keys over here, so click on that. And then you're going to see your public API key right here. So copy that and paste it. So that's going to go here. And then now let's do the private one. So back to Klaviyo, and then we're going to click create private API key. We're going to give it a name, something like this. And then make sure to click full access key so that it can work properly. After doing that, click create. As you can see, this is the only time the API key will be visible. So make sure to save it somewhere. And now we're going to copy this and paste it there. And then we're going to click connect. There you go. You see it says connected. Now we're going to go back to our quiz. We're going to go to the integrations tab, and then we're going to make sure to click and choose like a list over here. Now it's time to show you how to actually make the campaigns. So to do that, let's take it from the very beginning. Let's say a customer who takes the quiz. So they would take the quiz, and then we're going to write some legitimate answers. So like a name. And then we're going to choose a few options. And at the end, let's write an actual legitimate email. After that, let's click submit. And keep in mind that this is the recommendation that we got, the classic sunglasses. So now let's go to Klaviyo. And now if I click on audience right here and then list and segments, you can see that there is one person in the general email list. This is where all of the information would be from name to email. This is exactly the same that we just did. And now if I click on profile, we see this thing called key and then value. Key is basically the questions that have been asked, and the answers to those have been the values. Now, if you want to send a campaign about a recommended product, the key here would be recommended product, okay? And you're gonna need this. So let's just copy this for now. And then the value would be this, and this is what would show in the person's email. Now let's just go ahead and see how that would look like, because visually it's easier to understand. Before we even do that, the first thing we need to do is to draft an email stating that here are your quiz results and this is your recommended products and the user, right? So we're gonna go to content under audience and we're gonna click templates. There are multiple you can choose from over here. You can create from scratch as well. But I will go ahead and choose one from the basic layouts simply for the demonstration purposes. So click use template, and this is where we can change the logo. Here is the image. If you remember, the product was sunglasses. So let's choose the photo of the sunglasses, and I'm actually gonna get rid of this one. And here we're gonna say something like quiz results. And then at the bottom here, we can state something like, dear customer's name, take a look at your recommended products. And at the bottom, we'll insert the products. Instead of the user's name, we want to have the customer's name. So instead of this, we're going to actually write a code that will insert the user's name automatically. So we're going to go to source code, and over here that says the same thing as it does here is the user's name. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to write a code that needs to be written with English keyboard, and please make sure that you do not make any typos, otherwise your campaign will be canceled or it simply would not work. So open the code with these squiggly brackets, add a space, and write first underscore name, space, and the 2 squiggly brackets again. This is what it's gonna look like. If you want to insert the user's email in your email, you can type the code that's in your screens right now. If you want to insert their last name, all you have to do is change the first to last. So this is what it's going to look like. And after doing that, let's just click somewhere outside here. And then if we see a blue outline next to it, that means the code works. It means it's correct. So now we're going to insert the recommended products, right? The XYZ. In our case, it's the sunglasses, but the key nevertheless stays the same. So to do that, to change this technically, we are going to go back to source code over here. And then we're going to change this to another code. You're going to open with the squiggly lines again. You're going to write person. You're going to add a straight vertical line and then look up a colon, and then you're going to open the quotation marks. Insert the key that we copied beforehand, which would be the recommended product in our case. Paste that and then close the quotation marks. And now close the brackets, add space and the squiggly brackets again. So this is what the code is supposed to look like. And then after doing that, let's just click exit. Of course, save and then exit. We can rename this to classic sunglasses. And then if we were to even preview it, all of it is going to say and going to look like this. So it's not actually going to say and do what I told you it's going to do until you send the message. Now we're going to create the campaigns to see what it would actually look like when the email is sent. So you're going to go to campaigns and then click create campaign. and let's name it sunglasses or classic sunglasses. And choose the type as email, click continue. For audience, you're more than welcome to select a segment. I will link a video down below on how to create a segment with Klaviyo and Recomma together. But for now, let's just choose email list. And then I'm going to turn this off so that I can make sure I receive the email immediately so that I can show you. And then I'm going to click next. Let's choose the template. It will take you back where you were editing the template. If you like the final look, you don't have to do anything. You can copy, let's say the first name, for example, if you really want to, so that you can insert that in the subject line. And then let's click next. Here you can write their first name, and here are the results of the quiz. You can do the same in the preview text. You can insert the recommended products. You can insert their first name. You can insert any of the codes that I showed you before. So after making sure that everything looks like this the way it should, you can click next. And then I have a warning here. That is because I turned off smart sending. So you shouldn't really have any issues with that unless you're testing. And then you're going to click schedule or send, and then send now. Click return to campaigns. It is scheduled right now, but it will take about 2 minutes to finalize and send it to everyone in the list and audience that you chose. Let's refresh the page. And there you go, it says send. So let's go and see what the email looks like. This is what it would look like. There you go. So you see that it says Emma because that's the name we filled in. And instead of the code, like we typed in before, it says the product that we just had. So yeah, that is how you send campaigns using the results from your Recomma with Klaviyo. While we're discussing the code and everything, let me show you also a brand new feature that is worth discussing just as much. So let's say someone is taking the quiz, and this is the quiz that we're taking. Let's answer to the questions and provide our personal details like name and email. When we receive the result page, at the bottom over here, we see copy result page link, which means if the user is taking the quiz and they want to come back to these products that were recommended to them, they can save this link and then later paste it in their browser and get back to these results. If I were to paste it over here, I will be redirected to my personal separate result page that includes all of the products that I received. Now, for somebody who makes the quiz, it will be in their submission section in their quiz dashboard. Now, before I actually show you where the submissions go, if you go to your quiz dashboard, scroll down a little bit to the result pages settings, you can see that there is a box that says show result page link. If you tick that box, that activates the button that we just clicked to create and to copy our personal result page link. For submissions, go to your quiz dashboard again and click submissions on left bar. If I click our answers, you can see this is the email we typed, this is the name and everything. And at the bottom, of course, we see the result page link. Now, this also goes to Klaviyo, and you can use that as well. Over here, we see the profile that we just submitted with our answers. And if we click on it and scroll down a bit, over here we can see under the key, we have the result link, and for the value, we have the link that was separately created uniquely for that user, right? Now, you can use this in your email campaigns as well with the code provided on your screens right now. It is the same principle as the other ones for recommended products, meaning you're going to type in person, lookup, etc. And yeah, you can use these the same way you would use the rest for a better and more personalized experience, making it easier for you and for your client.